All right. So in a wholesale, right, what they've taught you to do is very simple. They've taught you to do some marketing to sellers, obviously, that are in distress. You then do sales, which is you have your conversations, you go through it, then you do your numbers, you make your offer. When you find a seller that, hey, is amenable to it, seller says, yay, we're ready to go. You get your contract signed. So now you're under contract. So now you have a deal, what you think is a deal, by the way. But again, you've done no back end underwriting or anything like that. You understand? So in that regard, now that business has taught you to order title / lien search, right? And you send everything to the title company. And now over here, we're gonna sit in limbo for anywhere from one fast, by the way, to 3 weeks. Sometimes in some municipalities, even in Miami-Dade County, it could take you a month. So now you're gonna wait here in limbo, hoping that what you got under contract and the months of work usually up until this point is clean and is good and that it's sellable and that you don't have something that's a giant problem. Most of the times, as we know, you go that and it's wrong, and now you get your lien and title search, and now you have to go retrade, right? Maybe you already sold it to a buyer, but you didn't tell the buyer because you didn't have the lien search or the title search that it had an unsafe structure, it had a violation, or it had a lien, or it had a fine, or it had a judgment, or it was underwater, right? All these kinds of things. It didn't have equity. So now you have to go retrade with the seller. Maybe you didn't even know that it needed a probate because you didn't know how to check the court records or anything like that. Maybe you were talking to the wrong heir, right? There's so many maybes that can go wrong here, but you have done all this backwards, completely. What we teach you at Reverse Flip is you do this step here, which would be with the underwriters at the title company. We teach you how to underwrite first, how to identify these opportunities over here. You run your play, you do all the optics, then you go and acquire the property by getting a deed, not by getting a contract. You're replacing this with a deed. So you own it day one, you can't be circumvented. And then we already know everything that's there. Yes, of course, we get a lien and title search, but we get it after the fact. But we already have about 90 to 95% optics on what's going on with this deal. And then we clean up whatever we need to do, and then we choose our exit, then we dispo, and then we make money. You've been taught backwards. It's the wrong way. This is why it's called reverse flipping, because you're doing everything in reverse.